sales signs go up before Thanksgiving, that's when I get...
So the story behind It's Never Too Soon for Christmas, that was the first Christmas song that I ever wrote, and originally was inspired. I went to see a Brett Eldredge show with my wife in Boston, and it was this big band Christmas show, and there was a 17-piece big band up there, and I remember coming out of the show, I was just so inspired. I'm like, I want to write a Christmas song, and kind of put it in my back pocket, didn't think too much about it, and then kind of was trying to come up with an angle or a title, and then I remember going into a Michael's, you know, late summer, early fall with my daughter, and they were starting to put the Christmas stuff out, and I was like, wow, and I remember there was this wonderful woman setting everything up, and I said to her, wow, you guys got the Christmas stuff out already. And she turned around with this wonderful smile. She was so like cheery, and she's like, it's never too soon for Christmas. And I remember she said that, and I was like, oh, that's the song, I'm gonna do that. And so that's how I came up with the title, and great fun making that song. And ironically, I made it in New York City with Rob Mounsey and Jay Newland, and interestingly, a lot of the big band that was on that track were the actual players from the night in Boston when I originally saw Brett Eldredge play. So that was kind of a nice capper to the end of that song. So that's a little bit about how It's Never Too Soon for Christmas came about.
It's never too soon for Christmas. It's more than a holiday before it starts snowing. Get in the spirit of giving.
But Christmas Shoppin' was the second Christmas song that I came up with. And obviously, you know, first we did It's Never Too Soon for Christmas, and the idea around that is, you know, that's for people that like to get going on Christmas early and start getting the tree set up and the lights and all that, which is definitely me. I love getting the house decorated. I've got no problem starting Christmas a little early, but that does not mean that I get my Christmas shopping done early. I am definitely a procrastinator at that. That's the line in the song. When it comes to Christmas shopping, I've been known to put it off. So I'm definitely the guy that leaves it to the last week or Christmas Eve to go shop. And I think it's something a lot of guys can relate to. So that's a little bit about how the song Christmas Shopping came about.
When it comes to Christmas shopping, I've been known to put it up to you, don't you know? There's nothing like...
So Nothing Like Christmas Eve was a song that I had the idea for a while. And actually originally the title was Nothing Like Christmas Morning. And I love that title. I thought it was going to be really cool, a lot of good visuals for, you know, what Christmas morning is like. But then I was looking at Spotify around the holidays, and I saw a song come out that was Nothing Like Christmas Morning, and I was like, oh, I missed the boat. I did it too late. So with Reflexes of a Jungle-Like Cat, I came up with Nothing Like Christmas Eve. So, because I still like the idea of that nothing like. And you know, Christmas Eve is its own special night too, and a lot of great visuals around it. So really happy with how it came out. And my favorite line in Nothing Like Christmas Eve is Elf is on in the living room. And I've always loved the movie Elf, and it's actually a family tradition for my kids and my family and my wife. We try to watch it every year around the holidays, and it's just become something that we do. And so I just wanted to get that kind of visual in the song, and happy that we were able to get it in there. And I made that song down in New York City with great producer Scott Jacoby. And it was interesting because I had sort of this you know, more of a pop dance feel to it, and he was hearing it more of like a beachy vibe. And we actually ended up doing it both ways because we couldn't kind of make up our minds what would be better. So both mixes are on the album, and I like them. I ended up liking them both very much. So that's a little bit about the story behind Nothing Like Christmas Eve.
There's nothing like Christmas Eve, all the presents laid around the tree. Thanksgiving dinner feels like it's been a while.
So The Kids Table was a song that I wrote with my good friend Steve Seskin down in Nashville, and I remember it was around Thanksgiving time, and we were kind of catching up before we wrote, and we were talking about our plans for Thanksgiving, and we got talking about how it can get a little bit nutty depending on who comes over, and the arguments and the conversation, and at one point I said, yeah, I know what you mean. I'd rather sit at the kids' table. And he was like, yeah, me too. And then in that moment we looked at each other and we're like, let's write that. So that's kind of how we came up with the idea of writing The Kids Table. And we had a lot of fun with it. It was a really, really joyful write, kind of coming up with the characters. And the question I get asked the most is, who's Aunt Mabel? You know, is she real? And no, she's not real. She's a fictitious character. We made her up. Obviously we needed a setup line, so I love the setup line we came up with. She's got nothing against Aunt Mabel. I'd rather sit at the kids' table. Obviously, Mabel rhymes with table really nicely, but I also think the name Mabel really kind of speaks to the idea behind the character. And obviously, we made her, you know, she's on her second divorce, so she became the archetype of the person that maybe you don't want to be sitting next to at the Thanksgiving table. So, but yeah, a lot of fun writing that song. Remains one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, and I love it. Every time I play it live, someone always comes up to me after the show and high fives me and said, "Yeah, I feel the same way. I'd rather sit at the kids' table." So that's a little bit of the story behind the kids' table.
I'd rather sit at the kids' table, 'cause it's a lot more.
The story behind the song "Who Ate the Christmas Cookies" came from my sister. For a long time. She's my older sister, and she's been asking me, you know, I want to be in a song, or I want you to write a song about me. And I love my sister, so I wanted to do that, and I kind of couldn't think of an angle for a long time. And then when I sat down to write this Christmas record, I realized, you know, we have a fun holiday tradition in my family where every year my sister brings us a tin of Christmas cookies. You could say it's a holiday tradition. That's kind of the opening lines of the song. But she's been making me this tin of green Christmas tree cookies for a long time, ever since I was a kid, and I love that time of the year and getting these cookies. But you know, when I had kids, though, they very quickly adapted to this tin of Christmas cookies coming into the house around the holidays, and they would, you know, eat these cookies. When I say rapidly, I mean these things would go, you know, in a night or in a weekend. You know, I'd come down for a midnight snack, and you know, the tin would be empty. I mean, it was almost like someone polished the inside of the Christmas tin. There was not a crumb in there. So it became this funny thing around the house. You know, these things would go at light speed. So that's a little bit about the song. And also I tried to have a little fun with it. We tried to structure it as a mystery. I love mysteries. I love mystery movies. I always wanted to have some sort of a mystery in a song. So we kind of structured it of, you know, the protagonist, who I guess is myself, trying to figure out who's eating all these Christmas cookies and lining everybody up. Even Santa is a suspect in the song. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. It was written with love and love of the holidays and love of family. So Merry Christmas to you. That's a little bit about the song, Who Ate the Christmas Cookies.